Hi, previously we backtested this strategy using CoinQuant, an artificial intelligence testing platform. We got a nice increasing equity curve that looked nicer than the buy and hold for the Bitcoin, which left most of us skeptical, which is totally understandable. And as suggested, I had to try it in Python, the way we usually do the backtests on this channel. And the plan is to investigate the details now in Python. And in the next video, we're going to stress test the strategy using the Monte Carlo method. And by the way, if you are interested in the coding part, the Python code is available for free. You can download it from the link in the description, so you can run this test from your side. This is the Jupyter Notebook file. So just as a quick recap, the strategy works as follows. We have three different conditions. The first one is that the fast moving average should cross above the slow moving average on the 4 hours time frame. We can use the Hull moving average by default. This is what the strategy used by default, and the results were great. But I also put the simple moving average for the sake of validity to try and reconcile my results with the CoinQuant platform, which uses the artificial intelligence pipeline to backtest your strategies. Then we need the RSI 14 to be above 52 of value as a threshold on the 4 hours time frame. And then we need the closing price of the current candle to be above the linear regression length 50 on the 4 hours time frame. Now here we can use the daily time frame for this, so it can be a multi time frame strategy, or we can use the 4 hours. I discovered while trying to build this video that using the 4 hours yielded more drawdown, but also much more reward. So without the intent of overfitting, we're going to use both, or we can use both. It's very easy to switch in the program. As you can see, all the utils are here. So all my functions are in a file named utils.py. Not going through all the details for the sake of keeping everything as simple as possible. I will be backtesting the strategy here using the backtesting.py package, but also using a custom-made local backtester just for the sake of reconciliating the backtesting.py, our custom-made backtester, both in Python and the CoinQuant platform AI backtesting pipeline. We do have the use SMA. If it's true, then we're going to use SMA. This is just for the sake of testing, and then we can put it to false. So by default, it's going to use the Hull moving average. And the reason I did this option is because I was investigating where are some of the differences coming from. Is it the way we are computing the Hull moving average? Because this involves dividing by 2 and then flooring some of the numbers and rounding some of the numbers. We do have access to all of these details, but it takes a lot of time. I've already spent probably 5 days, 4 hours per day trying to reconcile and understand all the details between what's happening in Python here and what's happening using the CoinQuant platform. So in brief, we have the parameters of the strategy here in the notebook. We have the data. We're loading the data. So you don't need an API. You don't need anything. Just run the cell and it's going to query the data for us. There's a buffer because some of the indicators, they need few candles, 64 candles, for example, in the past in order to be able to compute the first value. So this is all taken into account here. And then we compute the indicators, moving averages and the linear regression. We also visualize a slice of the data. We can zoom in as well. So we can visualize the signals as well, the entry and the exit signals. The RSI, because it's needed, remember we have a threshold of 52 set for the strategy. Then we have the 4 hours close of the candles, closing price, versus the 4 hours linear regression value. So we can see when one is above the other, so we can validate these signals. Then we're going to run the backtest using backtesting.py. We can plot the equity curve as well, and we could immediately compare this with the one obtained in CoinQuant. Let me pull the performance page, and you can see this one and the one we are using here we got in Python. So they are very similar. We have the buy and hold spiking. This is the dashed yellow curve. This is the buy and hold, by the way. And the green one is our equity curve obtained with our backtest. In CoinQuant, same. We have the green one is the buy and hold. And you can see that it's behaving the same. We have the same trend and we're ending at some point right here. So let me see these in percentage of returns. So the total returns are 950%. In Python, we got somewhere around 1000, or going back to 1001% in returns. We're going to compare all the details, but before doing that, I also built a custom function custom backtester, just to make sure that we can also reconciliate backtesting.py with something that we understand how it's backtesting, a local backtester. And I'm comparing the metrics of both backtesting. So both of these are local. These are happening here on the machine using Python. We have an exposure time of 51 versus 50%. So they are very close. The equity final is very close as well. A percentage in total returns 1001. The annual volatility percentage is 61% as provided by backtesting.py, but it's 41% as per our custom backtester, and some of the ratios as well. The reason is these are computed a bit differently in backtesting, and the total number of trades, 131 trades, and the win rate. So which means that we are validating the backtesting.py with our custom backtester and vice versa. So things are working well. And now I exported from CoinQuant. We could export all the trades because we have access to the trades. We can export using the CSV here. And I downloaded the file, and in Python, we're going to analyze the differences between what we obtained in the backtest using Python and what we got from the CoinQuant platform. So in total, we are matching 131 trades. So that's what we got in our backtest right here. So for both backtesters used in Python. Same thing in CoinQuant. I go back to the performance with the current conditions. We have 132. So there's one trade of a difference. And the one trade of difference that was processed by CoinQuant and it wasn't actually opened and closed in our Python simulation is coming from the most recent data, which was closed actually on the 8th of May, 2026. So that's the last trade. Probably we didn't get the last or the most recent candles when we queried the Binance API. I'm not sure where is this coming from, but it's not important because it's an edge case and it's coming from the data. So I'm sure if we would have exactly the same data, we're going to get this one trade of difference covered. You will also find in the notebook some helper cells to debug or to check where are the differences coming from until I matched my parameters. So this is where I can plot the signals of CoinQuant. So this is labeled external here, external exit, external entry, as well as the Python exit and the Python entry. And we can see the three indicators, the linear regression and the two moving averages. If it's simple moving averages, then these are SMAs. If we're using the Hull moving averages, we're going to see HMAs, the RSI, and the difference between the 4 hours closing price versus the 4 hours linear regression as well. And I think the most validating curve is this one. So we can see the buy and hold in yellow, and we can see the two curves that are supposed to be in green, the backtesting.py, so our backtest, and CoinQuant in blue. And we can see that they are completely overlapping, like perfectly overlapping, which means that we are reconciliating what is happening in CoinQuant with a manual backtest using our classic Python approach. Only this time it took me much more time. On CoinQuant, I could do this in 5 to 10 minutes. And here it took me a couple of days to validate what we are doing and to check the code. And the small difference that's coming at the end between our backtest and CoinQuant is probably this one additional trade that was closed by CoinQuant. Probably was a losing trade because we're getting a bit less money than our backtest. We're going back to the HMA, so I'm going to put false for the SMA, since this is, I'm going to run all from the beginning until the end, and we're going to check the curves that we're going to obtain. These are the results. So again, we have the buy and hold. We're trying to beat this yellow curve. So far, we cannot manage to do it. But most importantly, when comparing CoinQuant and the backtesting.py, we're seeing that the curves are very similar. The slopes are very similar. Some divergences are happening here at the end. Could be the cumulative effect of the way we are treating commissions. So I'm going to try to increase the commissions a bit just to make sure that this is what we are talking about here. And I'm going to run the notebook again. Notice when we changed or increased the commissions. So I've put here 0.0003. For the backtesting. Remember, I'm using the backtesting.py package. So at the end, now comparing the two curves of backtesting.py, so our backtest using Python and CoinQuant data, the blue curve, both curves, the equity curves are exactly the same. This is where the largest part of the difference was coming from. it's the commissions that we are including in our backtest. So now that we've increased the backtesting commission a bit, we have exactly the same curve, the equity curve obtained by CoinQuant, or using the CoinQuant backtesting. Of course, using exactly also the same conditions of the indicators and conditions of trade entry and trade exit as well. So these are the parameters that were exactly used on the CoinQuant platform for the CoinQuant backtest. So we have a fast moving average of 16 length, slow one is 64, the RSI period is 14, the threshold is 52, and the linear regression length is 50. Let me show you these on the CoinQuant part. So I'm navigating to the strategy part. We have HMA 16 versus 64. So these are the fast and the slow moving averages. We have the RSI 14 above 52 as well. So these are the other set of parameters, and we have the linear regression of length 40. Now again, you can apply the linear regression on the daily time frame using the closing price of the 4 hours. You can apply it on the 4 hours. This is how easy it is to switch between time frames using the closing price of the 4 hours candles as well. And you can switch in between these, like you can say it's above or less than or above than, and so on. So for now, I'm going to keep those as they were because this is what we've coded in Python. And what I've shown you here is somehow a proof that what we've coded in the previous video as a strategy is valid, because we've reproduced everything using Python today, the way we usually do on this channel. So we wrote everything in Python. I'm going to share the code with you again. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can download the Python code, the data I was using as well, the CSV data for the backtest, in case you are interested in reproducing this. Now, again, as promised, we're going to stress test this strategy in the next video using the Monte Carlo method, which is quite an advanced approach to stress test strategies to see if they can survive random and realistic market conditions. And that would be it for this video. I hope you guys liked it and found the information helpful. If so, please leave a like, drop a comment, share your ideas. If you have any ideas you would like to backtest, try on CoinQuant or in Python, just leave me a comment. I would be more than happy to investigate your strategies. Until our next one, trade safe, always backtest your strategies, and see you next time.